Good practice and focused on Stanford. I understand that there's a comment on the Dan Patrick show that bothered people. What I said, without editing, is I don't give a rat's ass about USC. We're thinking about Stanford. So that was not a dig at USC. That was an indication of our focus on Stanford. So if it's taken any other way, it's taken wrong.
Can you say that without rat's ass?
Rat's butt. Rat's tail.
Rat's tail.
However you want it. So, you know how that editing stuff goes. I'll just go ahead and lop off the last part where I said we're thinking about Stanford, or I'm thinking about Stanford, so whatever.
Coach, you were on Colin's show yesterday too, and you said that this year might be your most rewarding year. Can you expand on that?
Well, it's just awesome to be around these kids. You know, their passion for the game and their enthusiasm and the way they've just accepted everything we've asked them to do and done it with their whole heart. It's just fun, I mean, and I'm not talking about rewarding from the standpoint of wins and losses, just the experience of it all. It's just been great, I mean, they need you a little bit more than pro guys do, and I guess that's rewarding.
Is college coaching a little different than you expected?
Yeah, it's. I don't know what I expected really, I guess, but it's fun. And coaching in the NFL is fun. I love coaching. I wouldn't do it, But I guess just being around these kids that just have this amazing enthusiasm for what they do, for the game. I mean, they're doing it not for money. They're doing it because, well, first of all, it gives them a chance to get an education, maybe reach their goals athletically, certainly helps them reach their goals academically, and it's a goal.
Coach, how closely have you been watching the Stanford-Oregon games in your daily job today?
I watched it like I watch every week. We take things from every game. We watch usually 4, 5, 6 games, so it's just one of the games we watch.
And what do you expect for this Saturday's game?
In terms of what? I know it's going to be 83 and sunny. I don't think we have to worry about the rain. I expect us to play hard. I expect us to be focused. I expect us to come out with a lot of enthusiasm and energy. And I think the guys are excited to get out there and play again. When you win, what's awesome is that that feeling is good, and you want to experience it again. And so that's the indicators I got from the team.
Has there been anything you've improved on since Saturday's game?
Well, we try to improve every day we come out here. We try to get a little bit better at something. This is a different game, especially defensively, than last week's game. It's a different style of offense, so it forces us to do some things that we haven't done in a while schematically. So, hopefully we improve in a lot of areas.
I know you don't like to look past one game at a time, but I mean, you got to admit it's a pretty interesting scenario how this whole Pac-12 championship thing's playing out.
I don't even know what the scenario is. I don't care. It doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is Stanford. That's it.
What have you seen from Kevin Hogan?
Who?
What have you seen from Hogan?
Quarterback? He's a smart kid. He makes good decisions, and they do a really good job with their scheme of putting him in position to make the throws that he makes well. They run the ball so well. They've got really big tight ends, and so for a younger quarterback that doesn't have a great deal of experience, it helps him. And that's a credit to their coaches, their players, and it's a credit to him. You hear that term, play within yourself, and I think that he does that. But what you're seeing out of him is that every rep he takes, he gets a little bit better.
Your thoughts on Jonathan being named a finalist for the Doak Walker Award?
I think it's really exciting. I think it's exciting for the team. I think it's exciting for the offense, and the offensive line, and especially Jonathan. I think it's just a function of the team having some success. Jonathan will tell you that every yard he gets is a byproduct of the guys working for him up front, the plays being called, the receivers downfield blocking, all those things. So I think it's neat, and I hope that we can. It's a very good run defense that we're playing this week. Very, very good. Number 2 in the country. And if we can have some success against them, then hopefully that helps Jonathan out a little bit towards getting that award.
How has the team's focus been after reaching a high point during USC last week?
It's been exactly like it's been every other week. They come back on Monday, we take Sunday off, and they wire right back in. I haven't seen any difference in any other week. And I think that's a sign of their maturity and their aspirations. I don't think they want to waste this opportunity. That's the feeling that I get.
Stanford being a pretty physical team before. Do you try and match that physicality or concentrate on playing your own game?
Well, we're a physical team too, you know. So we're going to go out and play our game, which is a physical game. And you're right about Stanford; they're a very physical team. But you know, every football team is physical. USC is a big physical team. You know, Oregon State is a big physical, try to maul you type of team. So I think it's a combination. You know, play your game, but our game's physical, so we're okay.
So many people have failed at stopping that Oregon offense. What was it that you've seen that Stanford did that kind of neutralized them? Is there anything special? Or?
Stanford's got just their defense, let's just use the word physical again, they're physical. They're extremely disciplined. When you watch really good fronts play, especially defensive linemen, what they do is they play square, and they play with their hands, and they don't let blockers get into it. And when you watch Stanford, that's what you see. And then you see when the recognition of where the play is, you know, violent disengage, just getting off the block, and then they run. You know, they run well to the ball, they tackle well. Their planter and their leverage is always perfect. You know, so it's hard to get big ones on them. And they're just, you know, kind of big and physical and disciplined and tough and just aggressive and, you know, all the things that really go into making you a good defense. Plus their talent. I don't want to discount their talent at all.
So they have the fundamentals down, I guess.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're consistent with it. You know, they're consistent with it. So it's an every down proposition for them.
So how will you guys get ahead of their defense? They're strong.
Well, I mean, we'll just
Your plan.
run our offense, you know. I mean, we're not a bad offense either. So we're just going to do what we do and try to get a hat for a hat, block them up, you know, execute our technique, you know, do the things that we've done that have given us success. You know, catch the ball, throw the ball, protect the passer, you know, all those things.
At this point, is Stanford a better team than Oregon?
Oh, I don't know. I've watched one game of Oregon, so I would be the wrong person to ask.
What about last week?
Huh? What's that now?
I said, what about last week?
Well, they were a better team last Saturday.
With such a good defense, is this a game where you could see Joe Fourier really being a big part of it, just being that security blanket for Brett?
You know, you just never know who's going to emerge. But Joe's been a big part of our offense all year. I think he has 10 touchdown catches now. Is that accurate?
Yeah.
You know, I think Brett feels comfortable throwing it to him anywhere in the vicinity of Joe because Joe uses his length to hit the ball. So, you know, I know the way they use their tight ends, you know, they try to wall you off and body position you, and, you know, we do the same with Joe. But you just never know when you go into a game, like, who's going to emerge. You know, that's the beauty of the game is, you know, you have all these well thought out plans, and then as soon as the ball's kicked off, the unknown. And that's, I think, what keeps people coming back. So, we good? All right, thank you.